Let's do that. Yair, it's all yours.
Shalom. So this is Yair Davidiy. I head the Brit-Am. I'm speaking to you from Beit-Am, a city of 80,000, 90,000 people. Legally, it's on what's the so-called West Bank. It's in liberated territory. It's not that far from the biblical area of Bethlehem, where David was born. And it's a nice city. It's an ultra-Orthodox city. And everyone in the city keeps the law as much as they can. And we're nice people here. So that's what we have. And now we're going to talk about the Western tribes. The Western tribes are also nice people. At least some of them are. And we'll get to that. At all events, so now we're here. You should notice that in the background you will see this figure, this statuette. It's made out of carton, colored carton. It was sent to us by Brit-Am makers from Belgium. Brit-Am makers, he also sent me a whole bunch of pictures of different statuettes that he's made, usually out of metal or out of stone, very large, at a very large size. It has them all over the place, and he's well known, and he specializes in geometric figures, making statuettes of geometric figures, combinations. And usually before he makes the full-scale statue, he does a little model like this, of colored carton. So he sent this to us as a gift and as an expression of identification. He follows our talks. He identifies with our message. He lives in Belgium, as we said. And it's very nice. This represents it's the Star of David. As you can see, the Star of David, different colors of the Star of David. It's actually somewhat reminiscent of the rainbow, the different colors. The rainbow colors were those of the tribe of Benjamin, as according to tradition. Also the stone on the breastplate, the high priest had a breastplate with 12 stones on it, and each stone was recorded against one of the tribes. The tribe of Benjamin, also according to tradition, had the tribe Yasmin, the Yasmin stone, which also has colors of the rainbow. The colors of the rainbow, as we said, the tribe of Benjamin. It also represents the B'nai Noach movement. B'nai Noach movement is an association of different peoples who try and teach the peoples of the world the basic morality, basic rules of the Bible. We do not necessarily I agree with them on every point or identify with them, but we sympathize with them. They have a good cause, they're doing a good thing. And they too use the colors of the rainbow as symbolic of their movement. And you could say the Lost 10 tribes also. We represent the Lost 10 tribes, or speak to the Lost 10 tribes, advocate the cause of the Lost 10 tribes, in the sense that the Lost 10 tribes also, in some way, represent all the peoples of the earth, even though they are to be found in specific areas. Second, in specific areas. So, as you know, there were 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were the forefathers of the Israelite peoples. Jacob was renamed Israel. Jacob had 12 sons. These were the 12 forefathers of the Israelite tribes. First there was King Saul, then King David, then King Solomon. After King Solomon came King Rehoboam, in English transliteration, Rehoboam. And in his time, 10 of the northern tribes rebelled against his rule. And they separated. They said that they established their own kingdom to the north to the north, whereas only the tribes of Judah and Benjamin remained loyal to Rehoboam. Where later on, most of the tribe of Levi also attaching themselves to the southern entity, which is known as Judah. So the kingdom of Judah in the south, the kingdom of Israel of the 12 tribes in the north, the kingdom of Israel in the north of the 10 tribes in the Bible is sometimes referred to as house of Joseph. Joseph would represent the 2 tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph was also sometimes referred to as Ephraim after the leading tribe, and also in some parts of the Bible as Samaria after the leading province of the northern kingdom and the capital, what later became the capital. Hebrews referred to as Shomron. In English, they write it as Samaria. So that is the division. That was the division between the tribes of Israel and the tribes of Judah. And these tribes in the north, they were conquered by the Assyrians, and every one of their settlements was destroyed, as we see from archaeological findings. And all the people, the Bible emphasizes this, all the people were taken away, exiled to portions of the Assyrian Empire and resettled. Whereas Judah in the south remained for a while. Later, Judah was also to be exiled by the Babylonians. They were taken away for 70 years to Babylon, and from there they returned, and they re-established their polity, their kingdom of Judah, whereas that of the north of the 10 tribes disappeared. Those in the north of the 10 tribes, they were to rebel against the Assyrians, they were to join up with other peoples, there were to be all kinds of changes and givings and goings, until in the end they all migrated, all left the northern kingdom, the northern area of Assyria, of the Assyrian Empire. They went to the north and they went to the west, and through various pathways of migration, they eventually all moved to the west of Europe, the British Isles, Scandinavia, the Netherlands, France, all that region. This is where the lost 10 tribes are, and their descendants are still there, along with offshoots such as the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and such areas that were founded by descendants of the lost 10 tribes. So that is where the lost 10 tribes are. Do not say that everyone in that region are descended from lost 10 tribes. A good portion of them are, maybe the majority in many areas. And all events, that is where they gave expression to their Israelite destiny as the Bible spoke of them. The Bible speaks of them at quite some length in several different places, and they were to play, according to the Bible, an important part in world history and in the destiny of mankind. And the Bible tells us in the end times, the lost 10 tribes will be at the ends of the earth. See Isaiah 24:16, 26:15, 41:8-9, 49:6. That is ends of the earth. That is at the geographical extremities of the continental masses. When you take the land of Israel as the center of the earth, because Ezekiel also mentions that the land of Israel is considered the belly button, the center of the earth, and all the other continents radiate from there. So the ends of the earth are the geographical extremities, such as the British Isles, Scandinavia, the Netherlands, France, Australia, New Zealand, North America. They are the ends of the earth, or a portion of them. That is where the lost 10 tribes are. And they're the only ethnic entity, continuum, that is a homogeneous group of peoples occupying the ends of the earth, those regions. So that in itself is the proof that lost 10 tribes are there. As I said, there will be isles and peninsulas. See Isaiah 24:15, 49:6, Jeremiah 31:8-10, and so on. They're also associated with the Atlantic Ocean area. as it says in Isaiah 69, Tarshish, the ships of Tarshish, they will return on ships from Tarshish, Tarshish being the Atlantic Ocean, in biblical terminology. They would be to the west of the land of Israel, they would be to the west and the north of the land of Israel. They would be at the ends of the earth, and they would be associated with numerous phenomena that peoples in those areas were to be associated with. So that in itself is proof the Muslim tribes from those regions. And we have many, many more proofs also from the type of economy, their riches, the tussle will be playing world history and world affairs and different aspects of their national characteristics. All these are found in biblical sources, and some of these are discussed in the Talmud and in Talmudic literature that also speak of this, and Midrashim and so on, that add to it, that add to explanations or give illustrations of them, and also confirm that the identifications we made on biblical verses are correct ones. That we're not just applying descriptions where they don't necessarily pertain. Now, amongst the different proofs that we bring the discussions concerning the Messiah, son of David, and the Messiah, son of Joseph. And the Messiah, son of David, is mentioned in the Bible several places, and belief in him is considered an article of faith in Judaism. In other words, you should believe in it, and if you don't believe in it, something is wrong. You have to believe in the coming of the Messiah, at least according to the Maimonides and others, is an accepted principle. Whereas the Messiah, son of Joseph, is a later, is considered a later development, though actually it is recorded and mentioned already in the 1st century CE, which is quite early, but it received more emphasis, more development, one could say, in later years. And so the Messiah, son of Joseph, may be considered a personification of the 10 tribes. He is destined to do things that show who the lost 10 tribes are. According to tradition, the Messiah, son of Joseph, will be from 10 tribes, emerge from the 10 tribes. And what he does, therefore, shows us what the 10 tribes will do. And already, in some ways, already are doing. So therefore, we may extrapolate from this and use this to prove who the lost 10 tribes are. The son of Joseph will fight wars on behalf of Israel, and he will help defeat Edom. You see in the book of Abijah describes in the end times how saviors in the plural will go up in the Mount of Zion and defeat Edom. Esau will have oppressed Judah, and he will punish Edom. And it speaks of Joseph doing this. So from that, this has been taken to refer to the Messiah, son of David, and the Messiah, son of Joseph, working together. The tradition that Esau will only fall in the hands of Joseph means that either hands of Joseph, meaning the Messiah, son of Joseph. Now, the Hatim Sofer, who was the great rabbi, he pointed out that at a certain time in the time of Jeremiah, a small number of exiles from the 10 tribes did return and attach themselves to Joseph, so that the potential for the Messiah, son of Joseph, to come from the Jews exists. Nevertheless, it's generally accepted that he will come from the 10 tribes of Israel, from Joseph itself in their places of exile. And the Malbim also Another great commentator says in the end times, the Messiah, son of Joseph, will lead the 10 tribes back, and he will fight wars on behalf of Israel, on behalf of Judah, and he will save Judah from oppression, and he will lead the way in re-identification, and the re-identification of the 10 tribes in their return. Remember the story of Jonathan of David, how David came to the courtyard of Saul Amalek when Saul Amalek was fighting against the Philistines, when King Saul was fighting against the Philistines. And David went, and Goliath came out and challenged hosts of Israel, challenged the armies of Israel, and no one was prepared to fight him until David came, and David killed him. And how David and Jonathan became firm friends. Jonathan was the son of Saul from the tribe of Benjamin, and David was from the tribe of Judah. And eventually Saul was to be killed, and David was to replace him and to reign instead of him. Before then, David and Jonathan made a pact of friendship, mutual allegiance, and Jonathan risked his life to save David and help him, and in effect enabled him to become the Messiah. And so there are those amongst the rabbis who saw this as a pre-adumberation, foreshadowing of the union of the Messiah, son of Joseph, and the Messiah, son of David. In the friendship between Jonathan and David in the time of King Saul. It's also saying that both Saul and Jonathan could have together played the role of Messiah, son of Joseph. And in effect, they were preparing the way for the Messiah, son of David, for David himself, who was the personification of the future Messiah, who will come and save all the world and all of humanity. Another point is that the Messiah, son of Joseph, is not only a person, he is an exemplification, he is a personification of an historical process that will take place towards the end of times. Now, this is not a contradiction. Not only will he be a person, but he will also be an historical process. I like to compare it to Napoleon and the French Revolution. All the differences are totally different, but there are historical parallels to them. Before the French Revolution, you had King Louis XIV, who made France a great nation, but it was morally corrupt in many ways, and the peasants and the poor people were oppressed. But nevertheless, he liberated, he enabled an intellectual liberation and discussion and certain reforms. And then there came his son, Louis XV, and who didn't do that much from our point of view, and then Louis XVI. And the time of Louis XVI, there's the French Revolution. The French Revolution, they overthrew the monarchy, and they defeated their enemies, and they instituted all kinds of reforms, but they were limited in what they could do. And so along came Napoleon, and Napoleon put it all together. He took the energies and the potential that had been developed by King Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King. He took and he also instituted reforms in France. He went to war with all of Europe and conquered a good portion of it. And wherever he went, he reformed. He liberated the Jews. He gave civic rights to oppressed minorities, basic equality, and the principle that every citizen had his own innate duties and obligations and entitlements, So you could say that the future Messiah will also be similar to that at first will come the Messiah, son of Joseph, and start to prepare the way and initiate the redemption. And then along will come Messiah, son of David, and supplement it and complement it and fulfill it. So by learning the sources concerning this, we can see before our eyes something similar happening now. And we may apply it to our own situation and also use it to confirm our identifications as to who is Joseph, who are the 10 tribes, and how Judah interplays with them. Judah meaning the Jews.